Wait a minute. It might get ripped or something. Well, maybe I should turn a page then. Okay. Disney's Alice in Wonderland. There's Alice with crown flowers. That's her cat Dinah. That's Alice's sister reading a book. Alrighty. One summer day, a young girl named Alice found herself trapped in a history class. While her sister read about ancient kings, Alice put a daisy crown on her cat Dinah. The day was simply too splendid for classes, thought Alice. In my world, there would be no classes, said Alice to Dinah. Everything would be nonsense. As Alice dreamed of her wonderland, a well-dressed white rabbit ran past. I'm late, the white rabbit cried. Alice raced after him. He must be going to something really important like a party, she told Dinah. They followed the white rabbit to a rabbit hole. Wow, I just go for the white rabbit hole if I was falling here like a hole tunnel or something, like full of colors. I like it. There's white rabbit, there's an umbrella, like a waistcoat pocket, and there's a watch. Looks like Alice and Dinah are chasing after him. Let me turn the page. Alice squeezed into the rabbit hole to follow him, even though she knew that the curiosity often leads to trouble. Alice's voice disappeared into a dark hole along with the rest of her. Alice floated down through the darkness until she landed in a hallway. Okay. Looks like Alice chased after him. Maybe he's running down the hallway through smaller and smaller doors. Okay, let me read this. She saw the white rabbit disappearing down the hall in front of her. Oh, wait, Mr. Rabbit, please, Alice called. She raced down the hallway as the white rabbit slammed the door behind him. Alice followed him through smaller and smaller doors. Curiouser and curiouser, Alice said. Okay. At the last and smallest door, Alice twisted a knob. A nose wiggled under her hand. What a strange place, Alice thought. She asked the doorknob if she could go through. Sorry, said the doorknob. You're much too big. Maybe a French girl and Russian girl told me when I'm watching Alice in Wonderland, the doorknob. Okay, let me turn the page. Why don't you try the bottle on a table? The doorknob suggested. A glass bottle labeled Drink Me appeared. With each sip, Alice shrank. Now she could fit through the door, but the door is locked. Tiny Alice couldn't unlock the door. A magic cookie made her into Giant Alice. But Giant Alice couldn't fit through the door. Her tremendous tears flooded the room. Alice shrank herself again and floated through the door's keyhole. What a cool Dodo's beach race. A wave swept Alice into a very odd race. Fish and birds ran around a dodo, trying to get dry while the waves kept them wet. Alice spotted the white rabbit again. Mr. Rabbit, she called. Is that twins? That's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Alice chased the white rabbit until she was deep in the wood. Instead of finding the white rabbit, she found a pair of twins. I'm Tweedledee, said one. I'm Tweedledum, said the other. Alice told Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I'm following the white rabbit. I'm curious to know where he's going. Tweedledum sighed. Being curious can often lead to trouble, he said, waggling his finger at Alice. Alice thanked them for the warning, but that didn't stop her rushing off to find the white rabbit. Very dangerous to be too curious, but I'm sure if I'm right. So let me turn the page. Wow, that's Alice and White Rabbit. But he's calling her Marianne. That's a funny name. Alrighty, it says, to Alice's surprise, the White Rabbit found her. I'm late, he said. Go get my gloves. Inside his cottage, Alice found cookies labeled Eat Me. Happily, Alice helped herself. Soon she felt some Let me read this again. Soon, she felt herself growing and growing. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see. What in the world? How can she grow taller when she can't fit in his house? That's not good. And growing until her arms and legs stuck out of the White Rabbit's cottage. Help! Monster! The White Rabbit ran to fetch the dodo. The dodo suggested burning down the house. Alice ate a carrot from the rabbit's garden and shrank to a tiny size once more. As the dodo asked her for a match, the White Rabbit ran off again. Oh dear, puffed Tiny Alice. I'll never catch him. What are those letters coming from? That's strange. Alice ran off of the garden and came upon a caterpillar making smoky vowels. Who are you? He asked, puffing out a U. Alice blew his smoke away and blew the caterpillar right out of his clothes. He had become a butterfly and started to fly off. One side of the mushroom will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter, he said as he flew off. She got a pieces of a mushroom so she could eat it. A mushroom piece? Okay. Alrighty, let me read this. Alice broke off 2 pieces of the mushroom. I wonder which side is which, she said with a shrug. Alice bit into the first mushroom piece. She soon found out which piece made her grow, and she ate just the right amount to get back to her normal height. Which way did Alice go? I don't know which way did she go. Well, let me read this. Normal size again, Alice took the leftover mushroom pieces in her pocket. She searched for some sign of the White Rabbit. She did find signs, but they didn't help. As Alice puzzled over which way to go, she heard singing. The Cheshire Cat? I'd never seen him before. Alice looked up and saw a large mouth grinning down at her. Bit by bit, the body of the Cheshire Cat appeared. If you'd really like to know, he said, the White Rabbit went that way. The Mad Hatter? I never seen him before. And the March Hare? Of course. They're having a tea party for Mary's birthday. Let me read this. Alice walked on until she heard more singing. Let me read this again. It was the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. As the tea for twosome wished each other merry on birthday. Alice tried to join them, but the pair shouted, "No room!" Is Alice's merry on birthday? What a small world! Nice a birthday cake on his hat. That's cool. The Mad Hatter swept off his hat and wished Alice a merry on birthday. There on top of his head was an unbirthday cake. Now blow out the candle and make your wish, said the Mad Hatter. As if in answer to Alice's wish, the White Rabbit appeared. I'm late, he cried. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare decided that the rabbit's watch must be broken. So they fixed it with jam and lemon. Jam and lemon? No! I think the watch is going to break and he can't fix the White Rabbit's watch. Now he will never go to the Queen and King's Queen of Hearts ever again. Well, maybe if I can turn a page. See what happens. Alrighty. By now, Alice had had enough nonsense and decided to find her way home. Above her, Alice heard the Cheshire Cat again. I want to go home, Alice told him. The Cheshire Cat opened a door in a tree. Alice stepped through into the world of the Queen of Hearts. Yeah, told you it's the Queen of Hearts if she can go there for a tree shortcut, like Cheshire Cat told her. Okay, so let me turn the page. Alice heard royal trumpets sounded, which meant the Queen of Hearts was nearby. Everybody seemed very nervous. Suddenly, she saw the White Rabbit dashing past her. The White Rabbit raced into the royal court. Perhaps, Alice thought, this was why he was always in such a rush. He wouldn't want to be late to announce the Queen. No one would. Her Imperial Highness, called the White Rabbit, the Queen of Hearts. The courtiers cheered as the Queen entered. Trailing behind her, the King cleared his throat. And a king, the White Rabbit added. Wow, the Queen and the King has finally arrived, like the White Rabbit told him. Okay, so let me turn the page. The Queen spotted Alice. Why, it's a little girl. Now, where are you from and where are you going? I'm trying to find my way home, Alice answered. Your way, the Queen shouted. Always here on my ways. Wow, that's not nice. Alrighty, let me turn the page. The Queen calmed down when she learned that Alice played croquet. The Queen loved croquet. The cards always made sure she won. As the Queen prepared to swing, the Cheshire Cat appeared. Only Alice could see him. Ooh, that is not good. Why does the Cheshire Cat tumble the Queen's skirt? That's not very nice. You know, he told Alice, we could make her really angry. Oh no, said Alice, stop. The Cheshire Cat tangled the Queen's skirt. She flopped over and her skirt flapped up. The Queen heaved herself up. Someone's head will rule for this, she bawled at Alice. Yours! The King pulled on the Queen's skirt. Couldn't she have a little trial first? The Queen harumphed, but said yes. I don't know why the Queen was angry at Alice, because she yelled, yours. That's not nice neither. So let me turn the page to see what happens. The White Rabbit read the charge Alice had caused the Queen of Hearts to lose her temper. Are you ready for your sentence? The Queen asked Alice. Sentence? Said Alice. Oh, but there must be a verdict first. Sentence first, the Queen thundered. Off with her head! Alice found the mushroom pieces in her pocket and stuck them in her mouth. She grew until she towered over the Queen. I'm not afraid of you, Alice said to the Queen. Oh my word. How did she get towered over the Queen and the King too? That's not good. Let me turn the page to see what happens again. Oh my word. Why is the cards closing on Alice? That is not cool at all. So, let me read this. Suddenly, Alice felt herself shrinking. Off with her head! The Queen shouted once more. The court of cards closed in on Alice. She raced away into a maze. She managed to escape from the maze and found herself back into the Dodo's beach race. Wow, looks like the whiffs of smoke Alice saw the doorknob. I think Alice tugged at the doorknob if she wants to go home. So let me read this. As Alice ran, she saw the doorknob she had gone through earlier. Alice tugged on the doorknob. I simply must get out, she gasps. But you are outside, the doorknob said. Alice peered through the keyhole. There she was, sleeping in a meadow when she had heard her history class. Alice! Alice's sister woke her. It's time for tea. Alice looked around. Her wonderland, with its angry queen, was gone. Alice shook away her dream and smiled. The day was simply too splendid for nonsense. The end. Oh, I think Alice in Wonderland won a surprise for me. It says, Alice is so bored just when she thinks she can bear, and any longer a white rabbit runs by carrying a watch. I'm late for a very important date, he says. Late? Where does a white rabbit need to be? Alice chases it into a burrow and begins the adventure of a lifetime.